Once your phone is hacked, what is in their hands is not simply your device, it is your future.
One of the most popular leakers in the history of humankind is Edward Snowden. His explosive revelations of what the US does is still sending shockwaves across the whole world, and many of them affect your everyday life.
They're selling our future, they're selling our past, they are selling our history, our identity, and ultimately, they are stealing our power.
What is the US doing secretly with your data, and how are they harvesting it? Can you protect yourself? Join us as we dive into the top 10 terrifying government secrets that Edward Snowden revealed. Number 10. SIM card compromise. We all like to think we are in control of our communication. However, Snowden revealed that the SIM card in your phone is not free from surveillance, and all communications through it may be intercepted. At least 2 governments are trying to listen in on your phone calls, either business or personal, as revealed by documents revealed by Snowden. The US and Great Britain's Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, hacked into the world's largest SIM card manufacturer, stealing encryption information. This compromised billions of SIM cards and next-generation credit cards, which may include yours. The agencies can now secretly monitor a large portion of global cellular communications, including voice and data. With these stolen encryption keys, intelligence agencies can monitor mobile communications without seeking or receiving approval from telecom companies and foreign governments. The keys also remove the need to get a warrant or a wiretap and leave no trace on the wireless provider's network that the communications were intercepted. Bulk key theft additionally enables intelligence agencies to unlock any previously encrypted communications they'd already intercepted. Popular telecom networks affected include AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, and more than 450 others worldwide, so switching networks may not change anything. At number 9 is quantum computers. While developing quantum computers may seem like what a forward-thinking country would engage in, Snowden's leaked document revealed the secret intention of the NSA for pursuing the technology. The former NSA contractor revealed that the agency was racing to build a computer that could break nearly every kind of encryption used to protect banking, medical, business, and government records around the world. The quantum computer program that aims to build a cryptologically functional quantum computer that is exponentially faster than classical computers is part of a $79.7 million research program titled Penetrating Hard Targets. Much of the work is hosted under secret contracts at a laboratory in College Park. With this technology, no current forms of public key encryption are safe from the NSA, including those used on many secure websites, as well as the type used to protect state secrets. Interestingly, it is not only the US government that is trying to develop its quantum computer. The EU and Switzerland are also actively working on this tech and are reportedly making significant advances, even almost catching up with the US. However, just what they plan to do with their own computer is not known. Number 8 is the Project Dishfire, which again targets your phone communication. If you are sending an SMS, make sure you reread the content to be sure there is nothing another pair of eyes must not see. This is because, as Snowden revealed, the eye of the NSA sees your SMS. The National Security Agency collected almost 200 million text messages a day from across the globe, using them to extract data, including location, contact networks, and credit card details. There is something going on between the NSA and credit card data. The NSA program is codenamed Dishfire and collects everything it can globally. It is not limited to specific targets. The leaked files showed that the NSA shared stuff with the UK's GCHQ, allowing the spy organization to search through the large database of SMS. Thanks to these data warehouses, the NSA can extract information on people's travel plans, contact books, financial transactions, and more, including individuals under no suspicion of illegal activity. The scale of the snooping is so vast that people are perplexed by the leak. The NSA was able to extract more than 5 million miscalled alerts daily, details of 1.6 million border crossings daily through network roaming alerts, more than 800,000 financial transactions daily, and more than 76,000 geolocation data daily. At number 7 is the embarrassing detail that the US spies on its own allies. Many countries like to believe they have close ties with the US. However, they were disappointed to learn that the US was spying on them. Spain, France, Germany, and other European countries were livid to discover that the US had been spying on them. They lashed out at the then Obama administration for setting up an anti-terrorism tool and then turning it on them. Spain complained that the NSA was monitoring more than 60 million phone calls in the country in just a single month. The NSA even tapped the phone of former German Chancellor Angela Merkel, with some newspapers claiming Obama knew about the snooping and personally approved it. Both France and Germany summoned the US ambassadors in their respective countries to explain why the NSA would be wiretapping their top government officials. Meanwhile, some analysts claim the European countries could not claim to be saints as they all tried to spy on one another. Do you think this is enough justification for the US to spy on its own allies? Number 6. Snowden revealed the NSA spied on the Brazilians too, including their president. It would be naive to presume the NSA would limit its spying activities to European allies. Snowden's leak proved that the NSA was so interested in the communications of the good people of Brazil that it spied on their phones. The then President Dilma Rousseff launched a blistering attack on US espionage at the UN General Assembly, accusing the NSA of violating international law by its indiscriminate collection of personal information of Brazilian citizens and economic espionage targeted on the country's strategic industries. The row at the UN Assembly was among the biggest fallout from the Snowden leaks. Rousseff cancelled a planned visit to Washington in protest at US spying after learning the NSA had been eavesdropping electronically on her phone calls as well as Brazilian embassies and spied on the state oil corporation Petrobras. Rousseff called on the UN to form a new global system governing the internet to prevent the US from repeating such overreaching monitoring. Obama tried to calm the waters by announcing that they were reviewing the way they gathered intelligence to properly balance the legitimate security concerns of their citizens and allies with the privacy concerns that all people share. Number 5. The NSA spied on the Indian embassy and the UN. If the NSA could spy on multiple countries, nothing makes embassies safe, not even the UN. Snowden revealed that the security agency accessed computers belonging to the Indian Embassy and the United Nations, both in New York. The spying involved a tool known as Boundless Informant, which allowed the US to collect more than 97 billion pieces of intelligence from computer networks worldwide. This was against the backdrop of strained relations between India and the US for many decades, but only recently improving considerably before the leak. The US was exposed to have collected billions of intelligence reports on India through spying, despite entering into multiple agreements with the Asian country. The report covered India's domestic politics, commercial interests, nuclear and space secrets, and many more. The NSA got their information through the internet and telephone networks in India. Some experts pointed out that the leak showed the US's real perception of India, as other countries similarly targeted were considered adversarial. Number 4. The NSA demanded and collected caller info from Verizon, AT&T, and Bell. Of course, the US government would spy on its own citizens, as Snowden's leak confirmed, but the agency didn't bother to hack phones or steal encryption keys. It simply demanded that Verizon, one of the country's biggest telecoms providers, handed over the records. It relied on a top-secret court order to achieve its aim. The order, a copy of which has been obtained by The Guardian, requires Verizon on an ongoing, daily basis to give the NSA information on all telephone calls in its systems, both within the US and between the US and other countries. What was troubling about this data gathering was that the communication records of millions of US citizens were collected indiscriminately and in bulk, regardless of whether they were suspected of any wrongdoing. Normally, court orders were granted to receive the data pertaining to specific individuals for specific reasons, but the NSA decided to gather indiscriminately here. The information collected included the number of both parties on a call, location data, call duration, unique identifiers, and the time and duration of all calls. Number 3. The US hacked China. It seems there are few countries in the world that the NSA didn't try to spy on. Snowden revealed that China was also a victim of the NSA's propensity to monitor other countries' affairs. The document showed that the US had been hacking into Chinese and Hong Kong computers since 2009. He claimed the NSA hacked networks at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, home to the Hong Kong Internet Exchange and Hong Kong's main terminal for all internet traffic. Of course, the Chinese didn't like knowing their privacy had been breached. It caused a hardening with the standoff between the Asian powerhouse and the US. However, surprisingly, many Hong Kong residents reportedly welcomed the hack as they wanted to know what their government was up to. Number 2. Snowden leaked the PowerPoint document used to train US intelligence, and it included an explosive fact. You don't expect the US to simply send their intelligence officers into the field without training, or did you? The authorities used a PowerPoint document with 41 pages to get their spies up to speed with their job functions. PowerPoints are a dime a dozen in most organizations, but this one leaked by Snowden is explosive. It contained details about a secretive program named PRISM. PRISM was how the NSA collected tremendous amounts of data from internet companies. It fetched email, search histories, and file transfers associated with terrorism or espionage suspects. The PowerPoint presentation was the strongest confirmation that the NSA could directly access the servers of major US service providers. However, Google, Apple, and others in the tech industry denied such a program existed. PRISM began in 2007 with Microsoft and expanded to include Apple in 2012. You can be subjected to PRISM surveillance due to only a reasonable suspicion that a co-conspirator is outside the United States. The NSA didn't even need a court order or user consent to access live information, photos, video chats, and data from social networks directly through the company's servers. One slide puts the cost of the program at $20 million per year. Number 1. The Art of Deception, the manual for budding British spies. British spies get training too before they commence their spying businesses. Snowden revealed the training manual these spies go through. According to the leak, GCHQ had a dirty trick group known as the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group, or JTRIG, which sought to infiltrate different groups online and destroy people's reputations. Their method of operation was fairly simple. 1. They inject lots of false materials onto the internet in order to destroy the reputation of its targets, and 2. To use social sciences and other techniques to manipulate online discourse and activism to generate outcomes it considers desirable. They set up fake victim blog posts by pretending to be a victim of the individual whose reputation they want to destroy, and also post negative information on various forums. Let's hear what you think of Edward Snowden's leaks in the comments section below.